What up, boys? We're out here. Last day in Malaysia. Check me out. We're just out on the front porch. It just got done pouring. Look how much. Damn, big weight. But yeah, it's my last day here. And we're leaving tomorrow, but I think I got the answers I was looking for. I figured the things out. And about that, so I think 2 days ago I sent Julian's cousin. I sent her like a freaking 15-minute voice memo, just explaining, because she really is the first person I've met that like lives the life I want to live. But I also can see the downsides of it, and I was telling her like I fear success in a lot of ways, not just failure. I fear success because I fear that when I become successful, and it will happen, but not just financially successful, I'm talking spiritually, which I already am, and I'm already seeing, is that people expect certain things of you. And she's like one of the most successful people in our family. She's also has a high emotional intelligence. And so anytime there's any issue at all in the whole thing, like she's the one that everyone goes to. Even though she's super busy, but like almost like to the point where like it's almost like family, whatever, whoever feels entitled to her time, entitled to like having her getting things done for them. And it's more than money. It's about all sorts of things. And I told her, I was like, I think that's what I fear about success, is that when I become successful, like it's like this two-sided coin, where on one side it's like I want nothing more. That like the reason I want to be my why has always been to give. Like I want to be successful, and once again, not just financially, in all ways, to give. Like I felt like I've been born, like I'm like the person in my family that's supposed to like figure out that, like, heal the generational trauma, turn around, put the ladder down, bring my family up with me, and be the glue, be the mender, be the diplomat, be the healer of the family, and also be the provider, like the person that takes care of them, and helps them get over their isms, their internalized issues, like all this type of stuff. Helping, but not fixing, but just like being, being just the kid that like fixes the shit, right? And also, I just want to give in the sense of like, I don't know, share the abundance. That's always what I wanted to do. Most of the time, I want to be successful, or share the abundance, share the knowledge, share whatever, share the overcoming of mental illness, share help just to. Not saying that, like, but not like, what's the word? Like, not without people asking. Obviously, I'm not going to go around, like, freaking and be a preacher or something like that. But no, just, like, be a great example in the family where people kind of look and be like, oh, shit, what's this, people come to me. And so, anyways, my point being is that the other side of that, though, is that when you become that person, things change. People perceive you differently, and I see that with her, where it's like you get a little bit dehumanized because you're now seen as more sort of as like a resource rather than a person. You're seen as like a just like either a piggy bank or just like a spiritual guider, which you want. But not all the time. Like, you want to be seen as like a person of service and like a giver, but not all the time. You're still human. You still have issues, but like and when you help everyone else, who helps you, right? That's the thing. That's what I was telling her about this. Is that's kind of my fear of success, is like being seen differently. And I also told her about the thing about always feeling like I'm around the corner of success. But hold on. Actually relates to a poem that I wrote. So I was on the train. I was on the train from Kuala Lumpur to Penang, which is about 4 hours, and I don't know, I just had the feeling of writing poetry, see? And this is what I wrote. It was titled On a Train Somewhere. I swear this relates, but it's called On a Train Somewhere. That's the title. Where is my stop? When will I get off? The train stops, people leave, people get on. Always in a rush, always to a destination. But what about me? A man with no destination. Am I running away or am I going somewhere? I ride the train to avoid answering that question. Forever stuck in a purgatory. Sorry, I was a bug in my foot. Forever stuck in a purgatory between the past and the future. Others are aboard this train for a purpose. I ride this train out of avoidance. Just get off. But the excitement of the transition is what I live for. Change is right around the corner, but I'm too afraid to look. To forever stay right around the corner. To ride the train. To be sober or to be addicted. To isolate, to ruminate, to ideate. All means to the same end. Am I ready to live yet? Am I ready to get off the train? No, I think my stop is coming soon. I can feel it. And you know what I'm saying? Like, does that make sense? It's like, I felt like I've been on this train. It's like, oh, my stop's coming soon. But I'm like watching people get on and off, and these people, you know, walking with purpose. And I'm just like, oh, my stop's coming. But it's a misunderstanding. Like my point of writing that is like that I am the destination. You know what I mean? I am the journey and the destination. I can get off at any point, but I'm choosing to believe that it's my destination is right around the corner. That it's this someplace in the future. That it's out of my grasp, but I'm close. But it's always an arm's distance, and so I never get off the train because, you know, my destination is coming up soon. But so this is what I figured out in the last couple of days. Is that this whole idea of being right around the corner, I thought I had figured it out in a couple videos ago, where I thought, oh, the reason I've been right around the corner is because I've been right around the corner, because I've refused, every time I've gotten close to getting around the corner, I've stopped doing the work, the shadow work. And I think that's actually wrong. I think I've done the shadow work. I think I've done it. I think I'm good. And the thing that I need to do is tell myself that I'm here, that I'm at the destination. I'm no longer right around the corner. Because every time I say I'm right around the corner, I'm telling all, you know, trillion cells in my body that I'm right around the corner. In my mind, you know, whether you're a spiritual person with manifestation, or, you know, with God, or you're more of like a psychologically, when you, there's a lot of words for it, but when you, whatever you think and whatever you say, your mind loves certainty, and it loves control. Your ego, not necessarily your higher self, but your ego. And it's going to find any way, like whatever, if I say I'm right around the corner, it's going to point out all the reasons in my life why I'm right around the corner. But if I say I'm here and I'm grateful, then it's going to point to all the reasons that I'm grateful. Because in a certain way, every time I say I'm right around the corner, I'm telling myself that I'm not there yet. Which in a weird way, I'm saying, and if I'm constantly telling myself that I'm unhappy with my life now, but it's going to get better at some point in the future, then my brain is going to constantly produce a reality in which I'm always right around the corner. You know what I'm saying? The only way to get out of that is to change the cognitions and to change what I'm telling myself. Also like, if I'm unhappy with my life and I tell myself that, my brain's gonna find all the reasons to be unhappy. And if I wake up, you know, I told you, I feel like I've lived the same day for the last 5 years, the same pattern. Every year has been about sobriety and addiction. But that's only because that's what I'm telling myself. I'm telling myself that the big deal in my life, the thing that I need to overcome, is this thing. And it's like my focus. And and no, therapy is great. Everyone should go to therapy. But at a certain point, you begin to, like, you live out what you focus on. And so if you're constantly looking, you know, you should look back every now and then, hug yourself, you know, you should overcome past trauma. But if all you're doing is staring backwards, then you're just going to keep reliving your trauma over and over and over again, you know, and get nothing out. Because you can stare at the abyss and it's going to stare back, but you don't stare. You got to glance. And hold on. And so what I mean by this is that, you know, break the pattern now or repeat the cycle. And my pattern is this, is I was telling her cousin that I'm in this in-between state where, and she said, yes, you're in the season of becoming. And she was like, you're in the season of becoming. because I kept telling her I don't know what to do. But I was also like, I am in the season of becoming, of overcoming the past, of becoming. And I'm in this weird, just like how it was when Venom in like the original Spider-Man 3, like, you know, he's trying to rip him off, and then the bell tower, he's trying to rip it off, but it keeps reattaching. It's almost like that, where like about 80% of me is in this state where I'm like confident and I'm certain and I'm in alignment. But there's like this 20% that comes back out and is like, you don't know what you're doing. And it's like there's this uncertainty, this insecurity, this victim. But I need to keep feeding, and so then I will start feeding that. But I need to keep feeding the new me, the becoming me. And I was watching this video where this guy was talking about, you know, when you go out and you're trying to say like, I don't feel like I'm in alignment. My vibration's messed up. Like I'm like all these things. Like when you're saying, how do I get back in alignment? How do I do this? You tell yourself, that's it. That's it. If I say I'm not in alignment, then I'm not going to be in alignment. It's just like what Kanye West said: the man who can and the man who can't are the same, are both right. Like if I keep telling myself I'm not in alignment or I'm around the corner, those things will be true. How can anything other than what I'm telling myself be true? How can I be successful if all I tell myself is that I'm right around the corner from success, rather than I'm here, I am successful? Like I have self-actualized. I know I have. And I have done the work. I have become the father that I wish I had. I have become the man that I wish would have been with me when I was a kid, right? Like you know, and that's not to say I'm perfect. There's always work to do. But I've done the hard work, man. I've gotten the self-awareness. I've gotten the emotional intelligence. I've gotten the skills to articulate. Dude, if you knew my first relationship, how bad it was, like especially in the latter years, like after we break up together a couple of times, I was a terrible person, dude. I was a terrible boyfriend, and I vowed to never be like that again. And I did the work, and I'm very proud of myself about how I treat Julianne, and that, like how much I love her, and like the things I do for her, the way I can like kind of be this, like the way she feels comfortable communicating with me, the way like she feels safe around me, like that is, I feel so good, you know what I mean? And so I just need to give myself more credit, and I need to stop telling myself, oh, I'm right around the corner. It's right around the corner. No, because I'm here, bro. The whole idea of being right around the corner, the whole idea that I'm not there yet, is what I'm telling myself. And it's like I've locked myself in a cage and been like, bro, I'm in a cage, like somebody come save me. But I have the key, and I built the cage, and all I have to do is get off the train, right? Get out the cage, leave the train. But I keep telling myself, oh, someone's gonna come unlock this door for me. My train stop's coming up soon. But it's me, bro. It's me. You know, and this is not to say mental health is not real, bro. This is not to say, dude, I have suffered. I have gone through shit, dude. Like, and I've suffered for like 10 years now. But a lot of that suffering has to do with me telling myself I'm suffering. And I'm not, like, there's real somatic experience that I'm having when I'm suffering. But a lot of that is self-induced. Like, the reason I know this is because at night, if I'm scrolling through TikTok, some days I get into these, my whole For You page, like if I'm feeling depressed, my whole For You page would get real depressed. Soprano edits, Tommy Shelby edits, suicide edits, like all this stuff, right? Like just this dark shit. And it makes me feel worse. It brings me down. The phone transmutes my energy into an energy of depression, of despair, of all this stuff. And I could be there. Because I am an emotionally vulnerable person. It seems that whatever I'm watching on here, it can switch me, it can change me. Because then other nights, I'll get these videos, these very spiritual videos that like, you are in alignment, you are right where you need to be. Like, you've done all the hard work. And then I'm like, yes, I am here. And I feel elated, and I feel excited, and I'm back to the confidence, back to ready to just like live life. And what I mean by that is like, I'm getting alchemized. And I think I'm gonna delete this. I'm gonna delete TikTok, bro. I have to delete it, and all social media, and just because it's manipulating me. It's changing me, and like if I'm already feeling sad, I'm gonna feel sadder. If I'm like it can switch, it can flip, it can make me feel elated. All that to say is that the classic Timothy Chalamet, life is not coming from you or coming at you, it's coming from you. Like I'm the captain of my own soul, or my higher power, whatever you believe in, right? And so I figured it out. I mean, this is why things like when you wake up and you have like all your like affirmations on your mirror, it doesn't work because you're just reading like silly affirmations. It works because the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning, you look up and you read, I am exactly where I need to be. I have done the hard work. I have overcame so much. I'm the person that I've always wanted to be. If you read that first thing in the morning, and that's the first thing that you tell all your like trillion of cells in your body, you're gonna have a good day, right? Like obviously, like there's ain't some kumbaya shit where like obviously if something bad happens, I'm not gonna deal with the what about isms. Like obviously if something bad happens, someone death, you're not gonna wake up and read this and feel great. And a lot of times, and sometimes it's gonna feel like not in alignment with how you're feeling. Because obviously, this is not to say that you shouldn't have negative emotions or what people perceive as negative emotions. It's not to say that. It's to say that you should accept those emotions with love and grace. If I'm feeling sad, I'm gonna freaking cry, and it's gonna feel awesome. And every time I cry, I'm very happy. And it's a weird thing. I get very happy when I cry because it's like, yes, I'm a human. Yes, this is a raw emotion. Yeah, I love to cry, bro. But you should always snap back to the center. And that's my issue, is if I'm feeling a certain way, it will pull me, it will take me, and I have a hard time regrounding myself. And so I need to understand that and be careful with how I let things interact with me, including this phone. There has never been a single day where I've gone onto Twitter and not gotten off feeling like upset or mad or dismal or whatever. There has not been, but I still go on it. But it's like, why? If it's just all it's doing is making me upset, what's the point? That's the point of like media and all this stuff. So all this to say is I figured it out. And and her cousin was like, so, I'm excited. Like, so what are your next steps? Like, what are you going to do? Because I kept saying, I don't know. And that right there is also my biggest thing, is I always say, I don't know. In therapy, I'll say, I don't know. But I know exactly what to do. I've always known exactly what to do. I like to just say, I don't know, because it's almost like hiding under a blanket from your potential. Oh, I don't know. It's an avoidant of response. If I say, like, what am I gonna do with my life? Oh, I don't know. Or I'll go on a rant. Say, I don't know. I'm telling my body I don't know. But the truth is I do know. And so I need to set up a routine and set up my house and set up my life in a way where I'm constantly being affirmed and constantly being validated. And constantly like validating the 80% of me that is becoming this new thing, that has became this new person. I need to stop validating the 20% of me that's still like in the past, the child, the victim, the sad part of me, the depressed part of me. I need to stop validating. Like not like I'm gonna be an asshole and be avoidant, but be like, I hear you, I love you, I see you, but we gotta move forward. But anyways, guys, girls, kids, queers, they, them, these are any all, everyone I know. Have a blessed rest of your whatever day it is. I'll catch you guys probably when I'm back in the States. Toodaloo.